Fuck a long intro, let's go, Azeem.
Fuck the police and government, they don't love me. Fuck a painful relationship, don't hug me. Fuck a groupie, anybody in the way playing. Fuck a 3-hour flight for a show that ain't paying. In the industry, games are too complex. I want a house, fuck living in the new complex. The true concept, complexion, two-tone flesh to reflect. They say the lyrics is just too complex. You're not getting it, fuck it if it's over your head. Cause all the heads check for me like this dude don't rest. I want checks before BS. You want sex before business. I show up for 2 mic checks. Check fuck a half-ass promoter trying to half our fee. I ain't leaving till we half past the money machine. Fuck a nice guy routine. Fuck being all feeble. Fuck half you niggas and most you white people. See you like oysters. My tongue make pearls from the pain we receive that's released on the world. I've earned rights to brag like rum. Bags of wisdom. Rock microphones since the shag had victims. Got you acting from the scripts I've written. Sending assholes to hell. You dickheads with them. Come on, fuck the system, let me ask you this. Any black folks cared when Bush got sixth? I ain't think so. Fuck it if you did that shit, then you lost. I ain't even trying to lose no breath. Never graduated, never brainwashed yet. Fuck you two-faced people with mouths on your neck. And you three-faced niggas and you cheap-ass tricks. And everybody else I forgot, don't sweat. I just say fuck, put your name right there. And I'll finish at the end of the song. Oh yeah, fuck.
Yes. Welcome back. Yeah, dude. Man, it's a pleasure to be here. Say hi. Oh yeah, that was real enthusiastic. All right.
Why you always dissing your girl, man?
We're here. We're back. I want to apologize for the lateness. I had my birthday. You know, I had my birthday 7/17, and I was born at 3:10 p.m. So boom.
Nobody cares.
10 minus 3 is 7. Bro. I got all types of 7s popping around. Okay. Right. So look, I had a birthday. You know, you remember you was there. Well, you wasn't there, but you was there in spirit. You know, and yeah. So I took a little vacation. You know, time never was. You know, I am a spirit from the everlasting past to the never-ending days to come.
Talk that more stuff, Zane.
Finite duration or time that we deal with is just really an illusion. Time never was when man was not. You know. So I don't watch age. I'm not embarrassed of my age because I love wisdom. I ain't scared of my gray hair. I'll never die nothing because I live it. I don't die it. I live it.
Watch you quiet.
You understand? So it has nothing to do with that. I'm just not counting like that. So it's always the women in your life that'll tell you how old you are, how fat you are, and everything like that. So, but I don't listen and they know not to tell me. So I just celebrate another rotation around the sun, you know. And if you'd like to, you know, give a little something, just hit the Patreon page, you know, become a subscriber, you know. Once I get, you know, subscribers, I will add special things that only you will be able to receive, and that's a guarantee. Also, what else? Oh, my PayPal. What's my PayPal?
You don't even know it's PayPal. Jesus.
The Poet Azeem is my PayPal. You know, if you want to holler at a brother and wish him a happy belated, because we're all related. Yes.
Word up.
Again, Elihu met his pupils in the sacred grove and said, "No man lives unto himself. Behold, all living things are bound by cords to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure at heart, for they shall love and not demand love in return." This is Gap Tooth, 90 point now. Sorry, I always do that. 2,000 point now on your AM dial. And yeah, what else talking about? Shout out. First of all, before we even go out to the major shout out, shout out my homeboy Lek from Abu Dhabi.
Big up Lek.
This happened.
That's the brother.
It happened. What up, man? Salam, brother. Shout out my man Lek from Abu Dhabi. We're gonna have him on the show soon. Also, I want to just touch real quick on one of the I guess what we would call enigmas, paradoxes, or mysteries of the universe. And this might take a moment for you to really think about.
Talk that hippie shit, Azeem.
Is everybody you know named Dave kind of off?
Huh?
Just take a minute. Just let's do ding dong ding dong dong bing boom 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 bing bong bong bing bong. Like really think about it. Like you're there now, aren't you? You're with me, aren't you?
Dave Chappelle.
Everybody you know named Dave
Dave, but
is a little bit off. Now this could be off in a good way because they may be artistic. Like I know a Dave who's a promoter and who he's dope. So you can use your offness in a good way. But
he think he Bugs Bunny.
look, it's something that we really should, scientists should try to sit down and figure out.
Dave
Like,
Chappelle.
all the Davids I've ever known in my life or Daves,
He thinks he Bugs Bunny.
they're special.
So
All
that's
right?
true.
Now, moving on from that.
But shout out Dave Chappelle. That's my dude.
R.I.P. to anybody named Phil. Name of Phil. Oh, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson.
Shout out
but
Phil
he's
Jackson.
still. There's nobody's named Phil anymore. Philip. Excuse me, Philip. Would you? Nobody is named Phil. The last Phil, you had Phil Donahue. You got Dr. Phil. You got Phil Jackson. Who else? Phil Collins. And that's it.
Bro.
Right? Don't name your kids
Fill your
Philip.
script up
Prince
with something
Philip.
next time.
That's it.
What?
Yeah. If you're of royalty, you can name yourself Philip. You can be Philip.
I don't know nobody named Philip.
Shout out to the Moros of the so-called Philippines who said,
Gunshot.
"Who the bomber clot is Philip."
I don't know no Philip.
We don't even spell Philip like that.
PH.
So
It's
we not
silent.
calling ourselves
Q.
Philip. We Moors, we Moros, and that's how we gonna stand. Shout out to the Moros of the so-called Philippines. Shout out to Oakland, California.
Town
Day
business.
58, Oakland, California was still at protest. This was over the weekend, so listen, I'm not here to celebrate destruction, but sometimes you gotta destroy in order to build.
Man, fuck the police.
Ain't that how nature works? Don't the forest burn down sometimes from nature, and then the ashes of the forest and everything that died goes back into the soil and does what? You know something? Trees are greenest in the cemetery.
Word up.
So you could take that for whatever it means, but sometimes some things gotta go in order for newness to arrive. So shout out to Oakland, California. Matter of fact, let me holler at my man JR real quick and find out what's really going on out there. Hold on one second, we might have a couple technical difficulties, but we gonna get right on it.
Yo, you act like you're scolding, Azeem.
Let's go.
You crazy, dog.
Yo. Yo, peace.
Who's this?
Azeem.
Oh, what's up, Zane?
Hey, but is it cool for me to ask you a couple of questions for the podcast, just about what's going on out there? Because we had, when somebody showed me the article, I was shocked, bro. Like I didn't even know we were still getting down out there.
Yeah, we got down last night.
I saw
A
that.
number of different groups out here. You got politicized black people like myself who've been in it and understand the dynamics of allyship. So we have that group. Then
Right.
you have your group of black people who really just coming from the black community and really had no interactions with white people but being oppressed by them. So
Right.
they don't necessarily have the political sophistication to know how to fight a battle against the state using white allyship without it oppressing you. Then you have your people that's really on the COINTELPRO tip, and they just trying to turn the black support or trying to get the black people to go at the white people neck and vice versa instead of looking at it as a unified movement of the people against the state.
Right.
So, I mean, I think you got a number of different agendas and different levels of political education that I think is what is guiding this. So I see it as my role as being in the black community to help heighten the political education of people that are for the black community that have good intentions, but may have not been on the front lines until right now. So my job is to help them to see the forest from the trees, and meaning, see the good allies from the white supremacists,
Right.
and for them to understand how a battle against the state actually works.
Right. Because a lot of this has been done before, but this time there's a whole new fuel, like a whole new generation that's ready to try things a little bit differently. And you're right, with that guidance, a lot. I see how much stuff has got done already, man. I saw a list of the things that have been done since this started, and it's undeniable.
I don't think it's an issue of this time it was better than last time. I look at it as an issue of the snowball effect, because this wasn't Oscar Grant's situation wasn't as big as this one. But without the Oscar Grant situation, there would have been no Ferguson. Without Ferguson, there would have been no Tamir Rice in Baltimore. And if there was no Tamir Rice, we probably wouldn't be seeing this at the same magnitude that it's at. So I look at it as like a snowball effect. This has been the modern day police terror movement has been at least in configuration for at least 10 years when Oakland got down, and I think that was the most major rebellion since Rodney King. So, I just think it's important that we look at it not in an episode type of way, but in a series type of way.
Right.
Because these things don't just they're not just events. Even though we clarify them as events, they're actual movements that climaxed at a certain time. At a certain time, the pro-police movement climaxes, and at a certain times, the pro-movement people climax. So I think that at this point, we do have probably more support. We have more support, and we have more people that are sincerely allied with black people, at least in terms of fighting in the streets against the police. Now we'll see if that will turn out in business and economics later. But at least on the political scene, in direct confrontation with the police, we're seeing probably more support than I've ever seen in my lifetime.
For real, man. For real. Bro, thank you so much. And I want to add, too, I salute you, bro, because I know for a fact I've witnessed how long you've been in the trenches and connected to the people, and from the bottoms, literally the bottoms, to the academics, and you run the gambit. So if you don't mind, you want to tell the people your name real quick?
Yes, sir. I'm J.R. Valray, the People's Minister of Information, and right now I'm just starting my business up with Black New World Media. It'll be blacknewworldmedia.com and some stuff up, but it's not really, we haven't launched yet. But blacknewworldmedia.com will be where I will be putting a lot of my revolutionary media that I make on behalf of the people.
Yeah, man. JR is a reporter, an excellent writer, and has global experience when it comes to the revolution and the movement. So big up, good brother. I salute you, definitely 100%, and I look forward to running into you out in the field, man.
No doubt, bro. Thank you, and it's an honor for being on your show. And I just push the people to also support you in the podcast, and people that have also been on the front line of truth for a very long time. Azeem, salute back at you, bro.
Thanks, bro. One love.
Yeah, 21 cannons and all of that. Let's go.
Yes. Man, that felt great. And that was the historic first interview that, on Gap Tooth, And I'll tell a funny story about JR. JR is a real serious brother, as you can tell. So one time in Oakland, I was, I needed a job.
Everybody needs a job, man. Where are you going?
So I went to a temp agency.
Okay.
Temp agency, and the sister kind of hooked me up. She was like, "Do you know how to use Excel?" And I was like, "No." And then she looked at me with that look like, "Negro, if you don't," and she said, "You do know how to use it?" And I was like, "Yes, I know how to use Excel." So, which is easy. So that's why she was like, "All right, boom, go to this address, 700 something Broadway Street on Monday. It's good money, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm looking at this address, and I'm like, I know this address from somewhere. So, I put on my slacks and my button-up shirt and everything, and I'm walking down Broadway Street, downtown Oakland, and I'm like, 678, 670, 680, and I'm walking, I'm lining up the numbers, okay, 700 block. Boom, 707,
Okay.
And I'm standing in front of the blood-cleat police station.
Oh man, this gonna be another one of them stories. And I'm gonna need a new job. I could tell already, man. This dude and his stories always shoot himself in the
I'm not
foot.
working for the police.
Okay.
It's just in the police station. In the police station, my job is to call people up, and they had this scam. Oakland had this scam going where if you had a house alarm or a business alarm, you had to all of a sudden pay the city a special kind of fee just in case your alarm went off by mistake. You know, so it was just a little money-making scam that the politicians were putting into their pocket, probably. You know, so my job was to call people like, hey, you got to pay your alarm fine and stuff like that. So one day I'm coming out of work and I run into JR. He's walking by on the sidewalk. I'm walking out of the police station and I have I got one of those badges, not a badge, but I mean like an ID. You know what I mean? Like a city, like any job they give you an ID with your picture on it. But this ID had the police station logo with my picture and my name on it.
Azeem, your stories are depressing as hell.
I stepped outside, ran to JR, and he stopped and he looked at me. He looked up and down. He looked at the thing, and the look on the brother's face, just watching him process what he was looking at, because he knew me. You know what I mean? And anyway, I explained it to him. You know, I saw him walking away thinking about it real hard because you really can't tell nowadays. Like, they've slipped in, you know, COINTELPRO is a real thing, and they've slipped in people in the Malcolm X's camp, Marcus Garvey's camp, everybody's camp you can think of. So anybody could be that, but, you know, not to be, you know, paranoid, but...
Hey, your phone's ringing. Answer the phone. Now you gonna have phone calls in the middle of your podcast. That's why black people can't get nowhere. You're too unprofessional.
Yo, my bad. Yo, you still on the phone?
Nah, I'm good. What's up, man?
I'm chilling, man. Yo, I was just, I saw my post about I was tripping on the smoke.
The what?
Yo.
Wrong number.
No, hit me back with the...
Man, this phone thing's a trip, but
wrong
anyway.
Number, Bob. What's wrong with these people?
For those of you who are following on Instagram, the Poet Azeem Instagram,
Poet Azeem on Instagram.
You saw that I definitely have upped my chef skills during the COVID-19 situation.
Up your phone skills.
During the so-called quarantine. So if you check it out, like, because I cooked yesterday and, you know, definitely thank you for the shallots I did. Let me just share this. Should I share it with them or should I keep it a secret? I'm going to share it with them. I'm going to share it with them because these are my people. They family. So listen, family, when you're making like certain things, special things, I don't know, like spicy things or things that are savory, what you want to do is you want to buy a shallot and chop that up real fine, right? And then fry that separately once everything else is cooked. You fry the shallot separately by itself until it turn brown and crispy. Turn brown and crispy, just kind of like tilt the pan, get the oil out and scoop out the shallots, put them on a little piece of paper or something or whatever and get them on a plate. Listen, then, so that's the garnish that you call garnish, right? So you take the shallots and you sprinkle them on top of whatever the pasta dish or the meat fish or whatever you cook.
He thinks garnish is a fancy word.
Listen, it takes it over the top, right? It gives you a whole other flavor that kicks in the middle of your chew. You're chewing, and all of a sudden this other flavor just bursts in out of nowhere, and it makes you look like a dime. So write that down, file it, remember it, use it to please the ones, to please the ones you love. You know. I love cooking food. So check out my Azeem's menu. Check out my Azeem's menu on my Instagram page. Also, on there you're gonna see a lot of singles that I've been dropping with my man Fanatic. The thing about these singles, it's like, again, it's like I've been looking in a crystal ball because the titles of these songs, The Fire This Time, Black, White Supremacy, Speak Yeezy, which explains Kanye to the T. I should just play Speak Yeezy on here. But yo, you got to go to the Instagram page, find these singles that me and Fanatic been dropping, and check them out. Also, want to wish a special happy birthday to my homie Zach Cedarholm from CedarImage.com. That's the maker of Post Era, which is my award-winning film, as well as God's Rolex, Sacred Drift, and a few other things. Keep pushing, man, because we see you out there. That's the young Alfred Hitchcock right there. Keep going, my brother. One love. What do you know about the jewelry that you're wearing?
Here we go.
Where does it come from? What's the name of the person who dug it out of the earth with their own hands? What's the name of the jeweler who cut it to perfection and crafted it and set it into whatever necklace or ring or bracelet that you're wearing it on? Do you know?
Julio?
Wouldn't you like to?
Jesus. I don't
Check
know what
this
his name
out.
is, man. What's the point?
Adonis and King. They sell rough and cut gems mined direct to the customer.
Okay.
Adonis and King. Rough cut gems mined directly to the customer.
That's hot.
Just go to Pina Adonis on Instagram. That's PINAADONIS on Instagram and see everything from rough cut jewelry being mined to finished high-end pieces. And I'm gonna say peace and love once again and leave y'all with this new song by Fanatic on Beats and Azeem, Mothership.
Let's go.
Live from Oakland, California. As you are probably aware, several local mystics have predicted a landing from space this afternoon here at this spot opposite the Sector 5 government building in the person of a black musician and thinker named...
No batter, do the damage, brain shatter, anything they brag bagging a babbling about. Traveling thought, Castle, Park Art, Basel, New York, Natural, Bay Area, Fidel Castro, Lando with the cape on, no banjo, cape off, you off cold, birthday candle get blown by these machines on purpose, left the surface where he was standing looking like crop circles. I swerved, clipped the satellite, craft got cold, somebody pick up the phone, I need a ride back home. Mothership, mothership, come in, 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 come in. Me to the mothership, mothership, come in, 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 come in. Me to the mothership, mothership, come in, 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 come in. Me to the mothership, mothership, come in, 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 come in. I know it's monsters like I'm co-sponsored, so conscious. Nostradamus album era hostage, gold watches, flows haunted. The sea train, slow torture, cold corners, no dollars when snow's falling. No, darling, I'm so flawless. Rose gardens, beg the brother's pardon. Every morning I strolls on them. New York City be the globe ballers. Every dollar you ever held in your hand, or a hoe in Harlem. Holy water, not a crease on me. Charged with possession, bitch, call a priest for me. And give me lunch while you at it, I'm a nap. Wake me if you see a spaceship landing. Me to the mothership, mothership, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. Me to the mothership, mothership, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. I'm on the shoulders of a giant, it's hot, the air is refined, my palms are polished, so the lines I drop got you feeling a little tightened. I'm a titan, reciting signs from levels you ain't climbed yet. I've been Latin, been an L, been inside of the belly of the beast. I've been abused, been watching these Uncle Ben dudes convert for bank copies. I've been Frank, I've been Banneker Bay, I've been bout it. Still the people divided and the pieces get together like the gods. Turn the Nile into wine again, use water and fire, pure earth, ether and air, and draw some powers about them. Out them, me to the mothership, mothership, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. Me to the mothership, mothership, come in, come in.
This is incredible.
Come in, come in.
I can't believe it's really happening.
Mothership,
Our ship is landed.